So it's time to have a look at my FPL Gameweek 5 team selection, but before we do get into that, we're going to have a quick run through of how we performed in Gameweek 4. So without further ado, let's waste no more time and let's get into it. So as you guys can see, we got 54 points in Gameweek 4, which meant I got a red arrow all the way down to 547k. It was certainly a week to forget, I'm not going to lie, but one thing I will say is that Erling Haaland is an absolute legend. Erling Haaland is definitely carrying this team on his back right now. It's as simple as that. We captained Erling Haaland once again and he delivered the goods as he always does. He's so good. He's so reliable. I just love Erling Haaland, man. I'm going to be totally honest. A brace against Brentford, yeah. He is just FPL gold, FPL royalty, if I'm being honest. But the same cannot be said for Rodrigo Muniz. He got benched versus West Ham and he's flopped in the first 4 game weeks. I'm not going to lie, I'm so sick of Rodrigo Muniz and I want this guy out my team. It's as simple as that, alright? I could go on and on and on about how much I dislike Rodrigo Muniz at the moment, but we're just going to move on, alright? We're going to put that to one side because, yeah, I just really have had enough of Rodrigo Muniz, man. The biggest fraud known to mankind. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I did actually have João Pedro starting, but of course he wasn't in the squad. So we then got Amad Diallo to come off because he was my first sub on the bench. So yeah, we got Amad Diallo off the bench with a 6-pointer, which was certainly fantastic. And look, I'm not going to be benching Amad Diallo anymore. It's as simple as that because he is delivering, and right now he is proving to be a good option at the price of 5 million. So I'm really happy with that pick. But yeah, the same can't really be said for Morgan Rogers. In my opinion, he's on absolute fraud watch right now, bro. It's as simple as that. It's another blank for Morgan Rogers. He's been hyped up to oblivion. I've been guilty of hyping up Morgan Rogers, but right now, yes, he looks good on the eye, but FPL is about goals and assists, right? And Morgan Rogers just isn't delivering that. So look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite sort of tired of Morgan Rogers blanking, and he's another one that I really do want to get rid of. But yeah, look, he had chances to score in the last game against Everton. Yeah, he did have chances. He also had a chance to get an assist as well. But again, it's just all if, buts and maybes right now with Morgan Rogers, right? He's just simply not delivering. So yeah, he really does need to step up. He really does need to step up. Mohamed Salah, Diogo Jota both blanking. I didn't expect that. I don't think anyone expected that. But yeah, I just hope that they can deliver next week. I hope they can bounce back and deliver next week. Gordon as well, again, another blank from him. I mean, yeah, he's just not really been great. Only 1 goal contribution in the first 4 game weeks. It just simply isn't good enough. And I'm not really too convinced with Newcastle, if I'm being honest. Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, of course, blanked. I didn't expect it. I mean, I didn't even expect Nottingham Forest to score a goal, let alone win the game. So yeah, it's pretty unfortunate with that one. And Robinson, I'm not gonna lie, Robinson losing his clean sheet hurt a lot. A 95th minute goal, yeah, that one hurt. But I'm still quite happy with Robinson. Fulham defensively actually seem pretty decent, and their defensive data is quite good. And then we move on to Pedro Porro and David Raya. Surprisingly, Raya got the clean sheet. Very happy with that. I'm not going to lie, that game was really close to ending in a 0-0 draw, which would have been absolutely fantastic for me. But yeah, I'll take the clean sheet for Raya. He also got bonus points as well. And I'll be honest, Raya is proven to be quite the FPL asset at the moment at just 5.5 million. I'm so happy I started with Raya at the start of the season because he's been amazing for me. Other than Haaland, he's probably been my best FPL player in my team. So yeah, all in all, yeah, it was a pretty terrible game week, if I'm being honest, but that's enough about game week 4. Let's go ahead and move on to my game week 5 transfer plans. Alright guys, so as you can see, these are the transfers that I want to make for game week 5. I'm not gonna lie, man, Rodrigo Muniz has to go. It's as simple as that. He's been a massive flop for me and he certainly hasn't lived up to my expectations. So with that being said, as you can see, I really do want to put in Jamie Vardy or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. One of these 2 players, I'm still undecided. But first things first, I do want to say, if João Pedro is declared unfit to play the next game, and he will miss the next game, then it means I'll take him out instead of Rodrigo Muniz. But assuming João Pedro is fit to play game week 5, then yeah, Rodrigo Muniz will be the player coming out for one of these 2 players, either Jamie Vardy or Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right? I am considering it. There is of course the option for me to roll the transfer, but I really do want to take a 1-game punt because, as you guys know, I do plan to wildcard in game week 6, right? So with that being said, Obviously, I could save the transfer because based on the new rules that FPL made, the transfers do carry over after you've used your chip. After I've used my wildcard, the transfers will save. So if I roll the transfer, I could have 2 free transfers after using the wildcard. But I'm not going to lie, I like to have a bit of fun, and I certainly don't mind a 1-game punt on the man himself, Jamie Vardy or Calvert-Lewin. And look, for me, I'm slightly leaning towards Jamie Vardy because Everton defense is absolutely terrible, guys, right? They are one of the worst defenses in the Premier League this season. In terms of expected goals conceded, they're actually the 2nd worst team in the Premier League, only after Ipswich, right? So the Everton defense we've seen as well on the eye test, absolutely shocking, right? So with that being said, I do kind of want to take a punt on Jamie Vardy, and of course Leicester aren't the best attacking team by any means, but still Jamie Vardy, man, Premier League proven, and he's still showing signs of still, you know, being a relatively good number 9. So I do like the idea of putting in Jamie Vardy. Of course, I could go for Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. You know, Leicester are equally a bad defensive team, not as bad as Everton, but still very bad. So I think both are good options, but I'm slightly leaning towards Jamie Vardy. And look, I'll tell you guys this as well. Look, let's have a quick comparison, right, between Jamie Vardy and Calvert-Lewin so far this season. As you guys can see, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 2 goals compared to Jamie Vardy's 2 goals, right? So they scored the same amount of goals, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin, it does beat Jamie Vardy on the assist, as you guys can see there. So in terms of just actual output so far, you can see that Dominic Calvert-Lewin does slightly edge it. In terms of expected goals, Jamie Vardy actually does beat Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right? Dominic Calvert-Lewin has 0.34 expected goals per 90 compared to Jamie Vardy's 0.40 expected goals per 90. But overall though, in terms of expected assists and expected goals combined, Dominic Calvert-Lewin does beat Jamie Vardy. So look, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty close, guys, but there is also the option to just roll the transfer as well. So it is tough overall, and the decision will definitely come right down to the wire before the deadline, so we'll have to wait and see what happens, but this is something I am considering. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to my game week 5 team selection. So we'll start things off with the defense, and in goal we've got David Raya against Manchester City away from home, and a back 3 of Pedro Porro, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robinson. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty confident about this back 3. Of course, Raya could probably concede, but I do think the Man City game will be low scoring, that's for sure. It could even be 0-0. I mean, I would definitely take that, but I do think overall it will be a low scoring game, right? Probably like a 1-0 to Arsenal or a 1-0 to Manchester City. I don't see a lot of goals in that game. So there is potential there for some rare points, and we know how good Arsenal are defensively, especially away from home as well. But in terms of the back 3, feeling pretty confident about it. Pedro Porro really attacking, and a good fixture against Brentford at home. So I'm hoping for a clean sheet, but also some attacking returns, man. Pedro Porro gets so forward, like he gets forward so much, like it's absolutely insane. So yeah, expecting some FPL returns from Pedro Porro. Trent Alexander-Arnold, man, Bournemouth at home is a fantastic fixture. He's scored against Bournemouth before a couple seasons ago as well. I'm hoping he can do the same again this season, right? Trent has been so unlucky not to get FPL attacking returns. So hopefully this game, Liverpool can bounce back, and hopefully Liverpool can keep a clean sheet, and hopefully Trent can get some attacking returns finally, because I've been waiting for some attacking returns from Trent, bro. I've been waiting for so long, so hopefully he can deliver this week. And then we got Robinson at home to Newcastle. Again, feeling pretty confident about that. Robinson is so good going forward, and that's what I love about this back 3. All of my defenders are really good attacking threats and attacking outlets, so that's why I do like this defense. But also Newcastle aren't great, so I don't actually think, you know, it's out of possibility for Fulham to get a clean sheet. Like, I think they could get a clean sheet. So yeah, I think Robinson is a good option for this week, definitely. But yeah, let's move on to the midfield. We've got Diogo Jota, Anthony Gordon, Mohamed Salah, Morgan Rogers and Amad Diallo. So as it stands, this would be the team for game week 5 as it stands. Of course, if I make the transfers bringing in either Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Jamie Vardy or someone like that, then yes, one of these midfielders would probably go to the bench. But at the moment, this is what it is looking like. Of course, when it comes to the deadline stream, you guys will see my final team that is locked in. But for now, this is where we're at, because I've not confirmed any transfers yet, right? So yeah, we got Jota at home to Bournemouth. Again, he is actually starting, so I'm recording this just before the Champions League games, and Jota is actually playing in the Champions League. That is quite concerning in my opinion. I'm a bit afraid that he could get benched. I'm a bit afraid that he could get benched in the next game against Bournemouth. I mean, that would be an absolute disaster. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I mean, Diaz is actually benched against AC Milan, so I would assume he's going to play the next game. Of course, if Gakpo does well against AC Milan in the Champions League, then you know, he might move to that number 9 role. I'm not too sure, but it is worrying. And to be honest with you, I do kind of want to get rid of Jota on a wild card. So yeah, hopefully Jota to start against Bournemouth. Hopefully he can deliver. Gordon, I'm not really too confident on Gordon delivering, if I'm honest. Again, Newcastle on the eye test, they don't look good for me. Although they are sitting pretty high in the Premier League right now, they've not been convincing, and I think they're just scraping by game, if I'm being totally honest. So I'm not too confident with Anthony Gordon. Mohamed Salah, I'm very, very confident with him. Very, very confident with him, and he definitely will most likely be my captain, right? He'll be my captain. It's as simple as that, man. It's a great fixture, Bournemouth at home. Salah, hopefully he can bounce back, right? Hopefully he can get some goals. Hopefully he can get some assists. Salah, he's been absolutely fantastic, right, so far this season. So yeah, hopefully he can deliver. I think he's the standout captain option, and this was the week, right? This week is one of the main reasons why I bought Mohamed Salah in, because he's a great captain option. So hopefully he can deliver, right? He must deliver, in fact. Not even hopefully. Salah, you must deliver. It's as simple as that. You are the standout captain option. Bournemouth at home. Haaland's playing against Arsenal. You must. Salah, you must deliver against Bournemouth at home. It's as simple as that. Then we got Morgan Rogers at home to Wolves. Look, Rogers isn't delivering, so I'm not really feeling confident about that. Not gonna lie. But as I said, if I do make that transfer, taking out Rodrigo Muniz, then whoever I bring in will probably go into the starting 11 for Morgan Rogers, right? So yeah, Rogers, you could be on the bench. I'm not gonna lie. By the time the deadline approaches, yeah, you could be on the bench. But look, I'm not really confident with Rogers, if I'm totally honest. But hopefully he can deliver if I do decide to play him. And then we've got Amad Diallo against Crystal Palace away from home. Yeah, Amad Diallo, I'm confident that he will start the game. So with that being said, I do think he's a good option. Crystal Palace defense isn't good in my opinion. You know, they've been pretty weak defensively this season. They've been conceding goals against easy opposition. And Amad Diallo has been playing well as well. Looks really, really good on that right hand side, and I think he's an absolute steal at 5 million, and I'm actually really happy that no one else really has Amad Diallo. So he's a massive differential for me, a massive differential. So yeah, hopefully Amad Diallo can return. Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. But moving on into the two forward positions, we've of course got Erling Haaland and then João Pedro, right? So assuming João Pedro is fit to play, he will be in the side. I'm not gonna lie, Nottingham Forest defense is actually pretty decent, so I'm not expecting anything massive, but I would take just the one goal, right? That would be absolutely fantastic. I'd happily take that. And Erling Haaland again, I'm not really expecting, you know, another hat trick, because Arsenal defense is really good. And I'm not gonna lie, Erling Haaland usually doesn't do that great against Arsenal in recent times. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough game for Erling Haaland. It 100% will be a tough game for Erling Haaland. But honestly, I'm actually wondering, you know, how many people will captain Erling Haaland, because if a lot of people still decide to captain Erling Haaland against Arsenal, I'd probably want him to blank, to be honest with you, just to actually gain rank. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, but I'd not really expecting anything big from Erling Haaland. And on the bench, guys, we've got Fabianski, Rodrigo Muniz, Mikalenko, and Barco, right? So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, as I said, if I go through the transfers, then Rodrigo Muniz won't even be on the team. But as it stands, Rodrigo Muniz is on the bench. I don't even expect him to start, right? He got benched in the last game against West Ham, and his replacement Jimenez actually scored, right? So I do expect Muniz to get benched again, and I do expect Jimenez to start again. Mikalenko, yeah, he's just rubbish, absolute rubbish. He's on the bench, simple as that. Not much needs to be said. And then of course we've got Barco, who's not even playing in the Premier League. So this is what my Game Week 5 team is looking like at the moment, guys. Honestly, I feel like this could be a good week, but it could also be a very bad week. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm hoping for the best, right? It's as simple as that. I'm hoping for the best. But yeah, Trent will also be my vice captain as well, guys, as you can see. Yeah, I think he's a pretty good, honestly, I think he's a pretty good captain option as well this week. So yeah, he will be my vice captain. But yeah, this is my team for Game Week 5, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this team down below, and comment down below your team for Game Week 5. Are you wildcarding this week? Are you wildcarding in Game Week 6? Let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to see what your teams are looking like for Game Week 5. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be it for today's team selection video. I hope you did enjoy. Smash a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, I will catch you in the next one. But until then, I'm out. Peace.